It's there! Holy moly, this one's going to go big.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Just thought I would bring you the latest news on Arcade Simulator because John Parker has pushed out a couple of updates since I last covered it, and there are several new machines in the arcade now. So let's have a look at what he's added to the arcade, and then we will go through some of the changes that he's made behind the scenes, sort of under the hood as it were as well, because it's not just new machines that have been added to the arcade, he is making changes to Arcade Simulator itself to make it a better experience to use. But first off, let's have a look at the new machines that have been added. I think I'm going the right way. Yes, they're down here. So if we go along this row here, you can see that we've got Treble Top, which is a stinky horrible reflex. We've got Treasure Island Jackpots, which is a new Betcom one. We've got Top Loader, an old £25 Mazuma. We've got the Winsons in there, Star Paws. These are all more modern 100-pounders. There's Pug Life as well. Quid Vicious, that's an older QPS. We've also got Police Squid, which is a QPS. Oliver's Twist, which is from, that's one of the more recent machines that is in the emulator. I think it's 2016. Yeah, you can actually see on the glass there. That's 2016. Meerkats in Black, Looty Call. We've got, that's a Voodoo Games, that one, which is what's it called? Jack Potter and the something or other. That's right. We've got Gold Diggers by QPS, and we've got an issue with the alpha on that one that is known. That's Full Throttle by QPS. And there's a few more. Let me, I've got it in my head where they are. They're along here somewhere. Yeah, here they are. Sorry, going the wrong way. See there, we got Full Metal Jackpot, Family Guy, Easy Streak. I did a video about them the other week, didn't I? Lockbuster, we've got a Club Lockbuster rather. Golden Nugget, that's another clubber. We've got a Cluedo game there. Cash Exploder and Andy Cap, which is now in there. One thing that you may have noticed, can you see there, we've got the little logos along the top. That's a new addition. So each of the machines now has the company logo that has been added. Nearly all of these are playable. There are issues with some of them, which John Parker has noted in the release thread itself, but the majority of them are perfectly playable. So shall we have a go on something? What shall we have a go on? Almost spoilt for choice here. Let's you can't go too far wrong with a nice simple. Let's have a go with Cash Exploder. Basically, what John's doing is he's asking the layout designers before he puts their machines in the arcade if they are okay with having their layouts converted and added to the arcade. Dad is someone who has recently been asked, and he said, yeah, fine, knock yourself out. Quite happy to see my machines in the arcade. So you will see that there are quite a few of these layouts that have been added now. These are the first batch of Dad DXs. You can see up at the top left-hand corner there. These are the first batch of Dad DXs that have been added. As far as I can see, everyone who's been asked in terms of the layout creators had said that yes, that they are more than happy to see their layouts in the arcade. So Cash Exploder here has got a really slow boot up in the emulator normally. So even with John Parker's acceleration routine here, that there is an issue with the Scorpion 5s, he can only speed it up so far. But this is a really, really slow one to actually boot up in the emulator. Probably not the best one to have picked, if I'm honest with you. Just give it a minute and it'll get there. There we are, it is getting there now. It's still quicker than it is in the emulator. The speed up routine is certainly helping, but it is still one of the slower ones to boot up. But we're there now. So let's put some cash in, play some credits. We play it on £1 a go. Let's give it shall we give it 20 quid? Let's see what we can get off 20 quid on this. Oh no, 21 quid. I've got 22 quid. You know what? Change your plan. We'll give it 22 quid. Might get us a board. You never know. Depends what state it's in. That's not going to put us there, is it? There we are. So we've got to win the gamble now to get a board. Oh, we've got a board. That's a pretty cheap board for these things. In we go. That is either the Poker Face music or it's a riff on the Poker Face music, isn't it? Let's see where we can get to. Got some super shots going on. Keep an eye. This is one of the ones that can give you red numbers on the gamble. We'll soon get a feel for whether or not he's blocking at a fiver. Do we want to risk a lower on that? Probably not. Oh, God, that was a bad board. That was a really skanky board, wasn't it? It didn't cost us much, but I'm not feeling too confident in where the machine is if it's going to do that to us. Any number. Oh, that should give us something, shouldn't it? There we are. So it's another board. It's not... I guess I'm thinking about it. Cash Exploder isn't one of the worst in terms of board costs. Some of them can be ruinously expensive for a board. The machine off to the right there, Andy Cap. Oh, what do we want here? What's the best thing to get? There's no move in, is there? Shall we have a bonus? That's probably not the best thing to take there. But yeah, Andy Cap there, which I have done a video on. Oh, bollocks. Oh, we've survived. There we are. That can have horrendous board costs. And Cash Exploder, I don't think, is one of the worst. So we may as well go higher than a 1. But you can see here, it's all working okay. I don't think we've got red lamps. I didn't see those lamps going red when we got the bonus red there a second ago. I haven't checked if that's on the known issues for this layout. If it isn't, I'll mention it to John. And I think we've got a couple of the street lights didn't light up there when they should have done. It's no biggie. John is asking for feedback on the thread about any issues that the layout... Yeah, we can see there that those lights aren't coming in, so I can feed that back to him. If it's not already on the known issues list, he has posted over at Desert Island Fruits with what the known issues are. So it's possible that these are already known. Like I say, as per the previous videos, this is early days yet. This is very much work in progress. So some machines are pretty much perfect. Some machines have got some little issues with them. This is one. We do appear to have some lamping issues, but they're not stopping me play it. See, for all that, so we're getting quite a good run on the board here, aren't we? But I mean, we have got the deal open there, but the cash hasn't gone through a fiver, has it? I wouldn't be surprised if this kills me in the not too distant future. We've got to the inner ring though. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling good about how we're going to get on here. This is the thing with these, that they can really give you a long time on the board when they're nowhere near ready. So let's see if it avoids the shots. See there what it's shooting. Yeah, it's not shooting anything over a 5, is it? I wouldn't be surprised if I've got an extra life, so I wouldn't be surprised if it wants to double kill me here. Oh no, okay, so we've got another shot. Oh, it's hit a tenner. It has hit a tenner, right? Okay then. So we have seen a shot over a 5er. So you'd go into force mode here on the real thing. There goes the life, but it doesn't look super happy, does it? But oh no, maybe I should have taken the deal. I should have taken the deal. Oh, I just did. You know what? If I was trying to maximise what I could get off me 22 quid there, I should have actually just taken the deal. So we've got the game on the next. We've got the game on the next board. Okay, so what we'll do here, our scenario is I haven't got much money on me. This is one way that I like to, when I'm playing machines in the emulator, I have like an imaginary scenario in my head. So I'm like, I don't know, I'm waiting for a train and I haven't got, you know, my train's due in 10 minutes, or I've only got 20 quid on me, or whatever it may be. But try and put some kind of limitation, as it were, on the session. There's fuck all on the outside ring. What are you actually supposed to go for on the outside ring here? There's nothing much that's good, is there? Actually, that was the wrong thing to go for. Shouldn't have gone for that. Because there's no, is there no TNT on the outside ring? There isn't. This is not one I've ever played for real life. This is not one I've ever seen a real one of these over here. Shall we go for that? No, that was a mistake, wasn't it? And we did have the game available there, didn't we? It's not costing much for boards. I really need to take something off the next board. Well, number on that should go. Hold the numbers. There we are. Oh, you skank. I need to get another board now before my money runs out. Okay. Got the board again. There we are. Okay, let's see what we can get off this. I do need to be collecting something here, really. Go on, then. Okay, we've got the deal. We should probably, given the situation, we should probably take the deal. Because there's no guarantee. Out in the real world, you'd be forcing this now. Because it is going through a fiver, and they do block at a fiver. Even on the £100 jackpot, when they're on their ass, you're not going to get more than a fiver. Shall we take, before it kills me, shall we take the game? I'm pushing it a bit here. I wouldn't mind getting up to the double game. Oh, what do you reckon? I'm dicing with death here. I would like to get to the inner ring. This is not... oh, yeah, there we are. What can we get? Add TNT. There is an add TNT in there. Let's get that. See if we can get the double game open. Let's just wait for add TNT to come round again. Add TNT. Is it going to give me the double deal? It didn't. It only added one. Oh... Shall we take... Let's take the game. It's gonna dick me in it. Oh, is the button not working? Oh, no, the button's not working. I don't know. Whatever the shortcut is, I'm clicking on the button and it's not working. Just like the real thing. Someone's popped the button. That's another thing to feed back then. If again, I can't use the dynamite deal button. Like a power play where someone's popped the button. Oh, dear. Well, we're in a world of pain now, aren't we? Okay. Not much we can do then, folks. We can't take the game. Certainly clicking on the button isn't working. I'm trying the P and the D. I don't know if there's another shortcut for it, but... I could collect a tenner. Maybe I should do that, because I don't think I'm going to survive another mystery. Oh no, we've got the double deal available now. I can collect it. Oh, bollocks. Oh, that's going to have me in it. Oh dear. Right, so you can see there we have got a few issues with that layout. So I'll check the thread. It may well be that they're already in the known issues for this one, but that is something to be aware of. That's actually a pretty good real demonstration there, just so you're aware. And John does note this, that machines that are added to the arcade doesn't necessarily mean that they're 100% working. Will potentially have some little issues with them. So we know that we can't take the game even though that it's available. What can we actually do here? And I've actually had quite a few boards here. I've not done too bad on the board, so that's something at least. Let's have a look. Yeah, the red lamps certainly aren't working there, are they either? Skill continue. Oh god, it misses it. Fucking hell. Well, did I get like 5 boards for 22 quid there? That's not too bad, I suppose. So there we are. Got a little bit more into that than I intended to. So yeah, do check the thread over at DIF to see if the machine that you want to play is considered fully working or not. And it would be useful if you feed back to John. I will certainly be checking back in on the thread, and I'll just feed those things back if they're not already known. One other thing that I wanted to show you, and I didn't, and I got it wrong in one of the previous videos. I wasn't quite... Let me just find Big Box. Here we are. I was talking about, and let me just go to the settings here. Machine lights. This one here. Now, you don't see it. When you're in the arcade like this, we have got real-time... They on the ceiling there, those lights do count as real-time lights. But the machine lights only kick in when you actually start playing the machine. Is that one? That one's fizzled. Oh, no, it is doing something. So let's just go onto this machine and you can see it there. Once you actually go to the machine and start playing it, the real-time lights start working. So look at the lights around the edge of the cabinet here once it actually goes into attract mode. The Vogue cabs, can you see there? Down there, we're actually getting lamp effects. We're actually getting reflected lights on the side of the cabinet. And you can see there, these lamps are a little bit further away, so they're not giving you such a bright reflection. You can see it really clearly there on that dappling light up and down there, that we are getting real-time reflections on the cabinet. But you only get that when you stood at the machine and you've gone to play it. So you can see there that when you're away from the machine, you don't get those lights when you're just walking around. It's possible, I suppose, that there'd be too many real-time lights going on there if that was actually done. But you can see that when you actually, and you get it really nicely with the sort of Indian lamps there. So you see there we're getting some reflection from the actual board lights. But they, I've got some credits in here. Let's just play off these credits then, and then see if we can get, because it's a really nice effect. And if we can get on the board, you'll see it quite nicely as well. But actually watching them in demo play is a nice way to see it. Let's just see if we can get on the board with the credits that we've got. If not, we can let it go into sort of attract mode, and we'll be able to see it quite nicely. Let's just see. Let's just hold all out for the board. Come on, put me on the board, you tight bugger. One number? Any chance? No, doesn't want to give it to me. Go on, I hold after nudges. Any chance? No. Numbers there. Oh, that. Come on, with 2 to go. That should put us on, shouldn't it? Don't you even... You can't slow it down. We can't... Phew. Right, I'm not having that. I'm going to put another pound in. That's annoyed me. We've got to have a board. There we are. Next credit. So what you see there is there's the... You can see it really, really clearly there. And there's like... It's not just like one style of... like depending on the lamp and how far away it is. Oh, I thought it was going to get through the Indian reservation there. So look at when the Indian moves now. Watch the lights around the edge. Well, let's just get that first. Watch the lights on the cabinet there. When he moves. See, it's super, super, super clear there. We're getting that reflection from the lamps. That's not looking great. What's our win there? 2 quid. We're not having 2 quid. Not good enough. I can buy a bullet with that. So we can buy a bullet. Then we can shoot him. There we are. We'll have that. There we are. Where's that? Is that 3 quid? Or, oh, now we're in danger alley here. You know, in the real world, I'd collect... No, we've got a bullet. I'm sorry, I'm being stupid. I've got a bullet, so I can survive the ambush. Oh, as long as it doesn't give me derailed, we should be on for a jackpot here. Don't you dare give me derailed. Oh, no. Collect prize. Gold fever. You skanky fuck. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? So... Oh, we've got another board. We've got another board. Don't those lights look fantastic? Can you see it there? Just if you didn't see that properly, just go back and look again. It really does look fantastic at the start of the feature. The real-time lights, I think, look best on the Vogue cab because you've got these sort of like deep recesses in the side of the cab. So on the Vogue machines, the lamps look great. We've got to get through there, haven't we? I mean, one thing that there is... I mean, John does... Let me just hit that. Does recognise that the one thing we kind of need in the arcade at the minute is more cabinets, but they are a really laborious job to make new cabinets, but they are absolute... Oh, God. I'm dicing with it. They are absolutely on the list to do. He wants to get... He's talking about the Genesis cab and a couple of the others. Genesis cab will open... That was, of course, a bar crest. Oh, bollocks. So that will open up a load of, you know, sort of £10, £15 era bar crests, that kind of thing. So... There we are. All paid out. I think that is on the... I have seen that on the issues list, all paid out in 20p's. So yeah, that's the one thing that we're needing at the minute, I would say, is a new cab that will open up more machines free from other manufacturers and other eras. But John does acknowledge that in the thread over at Desert Island Fruits. It's absolutely on the to-do list. But whilst he's got these cabs already built, I guess what he's doing is just getting as many machines over as he can to get them added into the arcade. So on that note... got a little bit more involved than I intended to playing there, but you can see there got a lot of new stuff in there now. I mean, it really is. I mean, where is it? Oliver's Twist. That was one that I was playing. I was talking about that machine in the Unexpected Manchester visit video where I went away for my granddad's funeral, and they had this machine in a pub there, and I was actually playing this in the pub. Well, that was about 3 years ago. So to actually see the thing modelled in 3D in a virtual arcade, and I was thinking to myself, you know, 3 years ago I was actually stood in front of that real machine and playing it, and here it is emulated and modelled in a 3D arcade. It's quite remarkable, it really is. One thing that John has talked about is he wants to put other players in fact, let's come out because I'll show you a screenshot of it. That's one of the things that I want to mention. So we'll just go the under the hood stuff here. One thing that he's working on is an on-demand system for the machines. So rather than it having to load everything in ahead of time, it can stream in what it needs as it goes. That isn't implemented yet, but that is something that he's working on. As ever, he's giving loads of details in the thread over at Desert Island Fruits. This is the patch that he was announcing the other day. He's been doing some work on compressing the layouts down so that the downloads aren't as big. If you haven't updated this since last time, what you'll get when you fire it up is, you can see there he's put an arrow to it. It will download the latest machines that have been added to the arcade, but he has done some work on sort of reducing the size down to quite a fraction of what they were before, so the downloads are smaller. He's working on a library browser system, which is very, very early days yet. The install and uninstall buttons don't work, but that's something that he's got going on behind the scenes as well. You can see there that they are all the logos that he was working on that he's now added to the top of the machine. And he's now working on getting some of the old stuff converted over. This is an example here, by the way, of his AI upscaling. This is what the layout looks like in its original state, and after he runs it through his AI upscaler, that's what it looks like there down the bottom, and then he can add that into the arcade. So you are getting some super sharp images where the layouts are a bit older maybe and the resolution isn't so high. He's running it through his AI upscaler. So you can see there the contrast between the top and the bottom there. The two Ps are much sharper, much more clearly defined. There he's just announcing a few days ago the new machines that he'd added in that batch. We've also got another update here where he's added a few more. Some more AI upscaling here. Here's a roller coaster layout, and here's what it looks like after AI upscaling. He's saying that he's hoping to get roller coaster added to the arcade. Of course, that uses the Vogue cab, so the cab's already done. So he's optimistic that he'll be able to get roller coaster added to the arcade. How good would that be to play in the arcade? One of the best machines ever. And then we've got another update. Sorry, I'm just scrolling down now. I think it's actually on the last page of the thread. Oh, there we are. That's what I want to show you. The avatar. So the idea is that we're going to have... Oh, that's very rude. I haven't dropped him a like on that one. That's naughty of me. So yeah, he actually wants to add like avatars to the arcade and other players, so that there will be other players walking around the arcade and playing the machines. So he is working that's early work in progress at the moment, and that's something that he's going to use for online multiplayer as well, so that you will have actual players. The guy's got some slight issue with his arms there, but early days yet, but that's something that's going to come in the future. We're going to have players walking around the arcade, potentially even playing the machines as well. This is something you can check all of this out. I will link to the thread for you in the video description so you can have a look at it for yourself. So we've got here is the latest update. This was just a couple of days ago as I make this. Oh yeah, you can see there it does say, yeah, I thought I'd read it somewhere. Some machines that are tagged as plays are missing buttons, have number reels wrong, have no red lamps or other issues. So just be aware of that. John is making it clear there, which we saw there with Cache Exploder. Just because it's in the arcade doesn't mean it's going to be 100% perfect. So do be aware that there may be some little issues with them. And we've got here one of the latest updates as well as to some others that have been added to the arcade. And here we are talking about the Barcrest Genesis cabinet. That's one that he wants to get built. And you see John saying here, get the Genesis, roll top, etc. modelled. There'll be a lot more of that era of machines being built. And he's talking about getting onto more modelling in a couple of months. So it's all in the pipeline. This is all stuff that is to come. And we are in it's in a constant state of development. There we are, so you can see that I really like the idea of having like players walking around the arcade and playing the machines. That would be great to see. How he's going to implement it and exactly when we're going to get it, I don't know, but it's definitely something that he is actively working on. So there you go, that is an update on the arcade. If you haven't played it for a couple of weeks, just fire it up again. Do be aware that you'll have a bit of a download up front, but those downloads are smaller now with the work that John's been doing on getting the machine kind of payload size down. But once it's updated, you'll get that new version of the arcade with all the new machines in there for you to play. And as you can see here, there's still a lot of good stuff to come. Do be aware that there are some little glitches and gotchas on some of the machines. We saw it there with Cache Exploder. The majority of them in there even are perfectly playable and everything works on them. I've not noticed any problems with, say, Bonanza or Big Bucks or anything like that. They seem to work absolutely fine. So, just to give you a heads up on what's going on with the Arcade Simulator. Definitely worth firing it up if you haven't in the last week or two, because there are some new goodies in there for you. So, thank you very much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will catch up with you next time. But for now, it is goodbye.